Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Mr. Radio Face, the show where typically I will talk for 10 to 12 minutes whilst attempting to complete a golf challenge. Today is slightly different. As per my goals for the week, I want to try something different, and that is doing a recording whilst in a sauna. I found that, so let me just explain what's happening at the moment. I have one of those tent saunas by Sauna Box. I bought it last year. Me and my wife got really good use out of it, and I noticed the other day it might be an interesting concept if it works. I know this might sound terrible, but we'll find out when we listen to it back. But I've got this thing cranked to the maximum temperature, and I'm basically going to try and go through 20 minutes in the sauna. I find that the first 10 minutes I'm pretty chill, and then the last 10 minutes my brain starts to spiral, and I just wondered if anything interesting comes out of it in terms of what I say out loud. Typically I don't have it this hot. On the Sauna Box there are 7 stages. I tend to have it at level 3 or level 4. The higher the number, the hotter the sauna. We've got it at level 7, and hopefully, because I'm talking, we make it for the full 20 minutes. But we will see. Easier said than done. When your body feels like it's on the verge of death, it's quite easy to get anxious and kind of overwhelmed. So I'm not going to make you listen to me for the whole 20 minutes. We're going to actually edit this video. I never edit my recordings, but I think there's going to be some moments during this one where it's just a lot of heavy breathing and trying to make it through. I don't want that, because it's going to be boring to listen to. So the way I'll kind of cut in between is by just saying, okay, I'm going to take a few minutes, I'm going to deep breath, and then maybe what I will say is, okay, I'm back, and then kind of talk you through what's going on in my brain. But I'll talk for a little while before it gets too intense and we need to dial it back a little bit. But I love the Sauna Box. It's unbelievable. Before me and my wife moved to where we currently live, we lived in an apartment complex, and one of the amenities was sauna, and we thought if we ever move away from the apartment we'll have to get our own. And obviously like an actual dry sauna or an infrared sauna or something like that, it's going to run you thousands and thousands of dollars. Whereas this Sauna Box that we got, I think it ended up being like $115 each or something like that, with like promo codes and stuff like that. So we really looked out in terms of the price, and we must have used it between us way over, I would say over 200 times. And that's me giving like a conservative number. We use it all the time. It's wonderful. I've never expressed what I actually do for a living, but I do have a fairly physical job, and I am getting older. so aches and pains and injuries that come along with that are they're intense. So having like instant relief in the form of heat therapy, I love it. I absolutely love it, and I'm not boasting, because at the end of the day we did a lot of overtime in order to be able to afford it. It's not quite one of those fancy ones, but if you're looking for a budget sauna, this is the one. This is the one. Don't ask much more. But I was listening back to my recording from yesterday, in terms of trying not to kind of regret things, and getting this sauna was one of the things we first did when we moved into our new place, and I tell you what, we don't regret it. If I was sat here for the first time now, having waited 2 years, I would be regretting it. Yep, so just work hard, get the money together, don't buy stupid shit, but anything that's going to benefit you, just get it. If it's going to be helpful for your health and long-term longevity in terms of, I guess, like muscles and joints and stuff like that, yeah, go for it. My wife's from a very hot country, and I'm from a cold country, but now live in a colder country. And my wife, the change between a hot country and a cold country, it does so much damage to your kind of joints and your aches and pains and even your skin. Like, it's important to get some heat. So yeah, that's why we went for this and never looked back. So it's getting pretty intense heat-wise here. So I'm going to use this opportunity to take a little bit of a break from talking. So maybe we'll use a... Okay, so that's what I'll end up doing. I'm going to do a little clap, and then I'll clap us back in. But yeah, I'll be back shortly after I do some deep breathing and stuff like that. So I'll be back soon. And we're back. This thing gets hot. It gets really hot. The reason I decided to go for number 7 and not the typical 3 or 4 is because I have to make it interesting. I don't want to be one of those people that aren't really challenging myself in order to make a video. We need to make it kind of extreme and challenging for me. That's what we're doing with the golf thing. That's like the whole idea, is that I'm trying to remain calm as I try to learn to do something very hard. And you know, since starting it, obviously we've had the 5 in a row, and most recently the 8 in a row. I guess by talking through stuff, it's you're less likely to kind of crash out when you're doing things, and that makes it sound like because the camera's on that I'm not being my authentic self. I totally am, but I've been told in the past I have a calming effect on people when I talk to them. I've never realised I tend to have a calming effect on myself either. I internalize so many of my thoughts and feelings and just kind of push them down until, you know, they're no longer at the forefront of my mind. And I've had this conversation with my wife before. It's like, why don't I talk through stuff? Da, 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 da. And it's a fear of appearing to be weak. I hate the idea of me having a victim mentality. That's just horrendous. I want to be that person that people can rely on to give sound advice about challenging things. And I need to improve on that myself. So by having these conversations like this is intense. Like, I'm hot as balls in here, like literally feel like I'm gonna die. But at least I'm being honest with myself. At least I'm having this conversation and getting to that realization that, yeah, it's fine being a good person to talk to for other people, but if you're not that for yourself, then what does it all matter? It's all well and good being of service to other people, but if you want to progress, if you want to become the best version of yourself, then fuck me, you've got to give yourself some advice, and positive advice. I've heard a quote before, I can't remember who said it. I'll have to try and find that, but it was something along the lines of, if you talk to yourself how you talk to your friends, you wouldn't have very many friends. And I think it works the opposite way. If you talk to your if you talk to your friends the way you talk to yourself, you wouldn't have very many friends. So it works the same way. If you talk to yourself the way you talk to your friends, then that's so positive. A, you're going to be someone that you like. B, you're going to improve so much that even more people like you and like being around you. And C, you're learning about yourself. So it's not always negative to be of service to yourself. What I'm finding is it's fucking good for your brain. Good for your brain. So I'm gonna keep it up. I don't really give a shit if no one ever watches this. I know my wife does, and I know a few other people might watch it, but fuck it, it's good for me. I feel better about myself for doing it. So I'm going to take some more deep breaths because obviously I'm spiraling and I need to calm myself down. But yeah, I'll be back later. People, I pulled the plug too soon. I should have kept talking to you through it. I only managed 16 minutes at the top level of heat. So sorry about that. I'm gonna firstly make sure that this recording turned out well, and if it did, let's try again next week. I was 4 minutes away from achieving my goal. Imagine if I'd have dug a little bit deeper. Imagine if I'd have tried a little bit harder. We would have made it, but that's Sauna challenge done. I'll make sure the recording is good, and if it is, we'll be back to try again. Okay? Until next time.